Most people believe freedom means having more money. That's the first lie. Real freedom is having fewer points of failure. Because the modern system doesn't collapse loudly. It tightens quietly. You don't wake up to chaos. You wake up to limits. A limit on transfers. A delay on payments. A rule you didn't vote for but must obey. This video is not about fear. It's about understanding the rulebook before it's used against you. Because once restrictions arrive, it's already too late to prepare. Picture an ordinary life. Salary arrives on time. Bills are paid automatically. Subscriptions renew. Everything feels stable. But stability today is fragile. It depends on uninterrupted access to systems you don't control. And systems always change when pressure rises. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Modern control doesn't require force. It requires dependency. The more parts of your life rely on one digital pathway, the easier it is to manage your behavior. That's not a theory. That's how complex systems are designed. Layer 1 is concentration. Most people concentrate everything into one bank, one card, one app, one identity. It feels efficient. It feels modern. But efficiency creates single points of failure. When one node goes down, everything connected to it follows. That's why systems love convenience. Convenience reduces resistance. Layer 2 is normalization. Restrictions never arrive as punishment. They arrive as protection. Temporary measures, security reviews, fraud prevention, compliance updates. Each one sounds reasonable on its own. Together, they rewrite what normal access looks like. People adapt quickly. They don't protest small limits. They reorganize their lives around them. That's how control becomes invisible. Layer 3 is behavioral pressure. When access becomes conditional, behavior follows. People avoid risk. They avoid standing out. They avoid questioning. Not because they're weak, because uncertainty is expensive. Miss one payment, trigger one review, lose one income stream, and suddenly, freedom feels reckless. This is how economic pressure replaces physical force. Now here's the twist most people miss. None of this requires bad actors. Systems don't need villains to become restrictive. They only need stress, inflation, debt, instability, geopolitical tension. Under stress, systems optimize for survival, not fairness. They don't ask who deserves access. They ask what reduces risk. And individuals always look riskier than institutions. Now, the double twist. The more digital and centralized money becomes, the faster restrictions can be applied. Not tomorrow. Instantly. Code doesn't argue. Algorithms don't negotiate. When money moves through software, rules move with it. That doesn't mean technology is evil. It means power moves to whoever writes the rules. So the real question isn't, is this coming? The real question is, are you positioned for flexibility or fragility? Here's the part that actually matters. What do you do without becoming paranoid, extreme, or disconnected from modern life? This is the practical protocol. First, diversify access, not just assets. Multiple banks, multiple cards, multiple ways to pay. If one pathway pauses, life continues. Second, lower your fixed obligations. High fixed costs turn small disruptions into emergencies. Flexibility is not about income level. It's about how long you can operate if something pauses. Third, Maintain a permission-free buffer, not for rebellion, for continuity. A reserve that lets you eat, move, and think clearly if systems slow down. Fourth, understand the difference between ownership and access. Access can be revoked. Ownership is harder to touch. Favor structures where you hold more control and fewer intermediaries. Fifth, stay calm and informed. Panic creates mistakes. Denial creates vulnerability. The people who adapt best are not the loudest. They're the most prepared. This isn't about predicting collapse. It's about understanding direction. Systems move toward efficiency, centralization, and control under pressure. Individuals must move toward resilience, redundancy, and clarity. That's the balance. Because the future won't be defined by how much money you have. It will be defined by how many options you keep. And options disappear quietly. Subscribe to the Hidden Wealth File. We don't chase panic, we expose structure. So when change arrives, you're not surprised, you're ready.